He says, when you idolize someone, when you look up to them, and then you meet them and it's such a disappointment. You know, the guy you see in public going like this, under the table, he's going like this. And there is some truth to that. And I'm going to tell you my story because it was a very bad experience. I'm not going to tell you who he was, what his name was.
All right, so I know this isn't going to be the most exciting, but I do a lot of core work. Although sometimes looking at my girth, you would be able to tell that. That is something I learned from Shane Sweat down at the sweatshop down in Cincinnati, where I'd gone down and trained a little bit. Shane was there, Laura Phelps, the strongest powerlifting female. A lot of other world-class powerlifters. It was a very amazing, eye-opening training session for me. Although I have, as you guys can see, I have knowledge with training. He made me feel like I was in kindergarten.
Okay. What we're doing is a recuperation method. We're gonna flood a lot of blood in the triceps. The more blood we can get in there, the more nutrients and hydration we can get in, so the faster we can recover. The whole idea behind it is to recover at a faster rate so we can handle higher volume of training. The higher volume of training that we can handle, the faster we can make progress.
He had so much knowledge, but hey, he was raised up in Columbus with Louis Simmons at Westside, so.
Westside Barbell. Westside Barbell, folks, Columbus. The man himself. Hey, come.
Anyway, so one of the things I learned from Shane is I train my core pretty much at the end of just about every workout. I'll at least do one exercise. This was a workout we did. We just went in, we trained core, we did calves, a lot of stretching. So actually here, one of the variables you can use when certain exercises become easier, stand on a Bosu ball, right? Helps work the hips and the stabilizers. And I'm just doing twists with the ball in incremental weight. But what I'm actually doing here that you might not be able to tell is as soon as the set's done, I'm going over to the standing calf raise machine and doing a whole bunch of sets with that. I like to do a lot of stretching with the weight on my back. As you're older, you probably notice, I don't know if you guys have experienced plantar fasciitis, but we tend to get that from all the work and all the cardio. Again, something you didn't have to worry about in your 20s, but so we do a lot of stretching for that and a lot of massage with the massage gun, which I will get into in future videos. Well, there I look kind of distracted, eh? What are you doing, you old fat bastard? So we're also using time. Time is a variable that's great to throw in for your sets that a lot of people just don't do. Right? So instead of sometimes if you're doing, oh, there I am, I almost fell off. Got to work the stabilizers. Wakey, wakey. Sometimes when you're doing a set, instead of like constantly increasing the weight, say, no, I'm going to do presses with this for 2 minutes. Or so time is a variable I love to use now. Okay. So again, it's not looking too exciting, but we're increasing the weight of the ball, and it gets more and more difficult. So you start really feeling a burn, especially when you're using timed intervals like this. Again, as soon as I step off that, I run over to the calf machine. I like to refer to it also as kind of a cross flow workout. I've had success in the past doing shoulders and calves where you get the blood into one area, then it has to go all the way down to another area. But so in this video, I talk about a really bad experience I had meeting a celebrity, but I want to preface that by saying most of my experiences have all been great. More videos to come on that. So again, the other thing too with working core for me is I have a big diastasis hernia. You guys have heard me talk about it. It's like half a football. So as I'm slowly but surely leaning down, we're going to take a look at what it looks like, and hopefully it's not too scary, but I know at some point I am going to have to get it operated on. A few years back when I had it, and I realized I had it, I went to the doctor. He said, are you going to start lifting heavy? I was like, yep. He was like, well, I can't operate it and put it in the mesh because it'll just come out again. So, but now I'm done with that. So we are going to get it fixed, but I want to get lean enough first and see what it looks like. So again, I'm just increasing. Those balls are a little different. The weight distribution in the balls are quite a bit different. But see, now I'm feeling it here. I'm talking to myself. No, I'm and again here. Again, what I like about it is you're working your stabilizer muscles. I think the first time I went on the Bozu ball months ago, I couldn't even stand on it for a month, but now it's a common staple in our workouts. And I think that's a 30-pound ball, so yeah, I'm starting to really feel that. Again, what you don't see in the video is as soon as I'm done, I drop the ball and I run over and I use the standing calf machine. But core is very important. Again, I look at the body as a suit of armor. You want to keep all the parts of your body strong, not in the sense of that you can deadlift 800 pounds or squat 900 pounds, but in the sense that just your body staying strong, mobile, functional, flexible. Okay, there we go. See, almost had a little... I had an incident in a previous video I tell you guys about where I had sand on my shoes and I went on that and I was doing squats. That could have led to a quad tear, so you got to be careful. Make sure your shoes are clean when you go on the Bozu ball. But it's an interesting workout. You can tell I'm getting tired. I'm having more stability issues here. It's harder and harder to stay on top of the ball. I'm getting a burn. And then from here, yeah, I'm struggling, eh? Give these a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I appreciate all you guys who take a second, and gals who take a second to subscribe and like. I don't have big expectations for this channel, so I just keep plugging away and want to get in better and better shape, which is slowly happening. We're in that crazy period now. I've dropped a lot of weight, but you can never lose fat fast enough, especially at 50. But every week it comes down a little bit more, comes down a little bit more. But the scale's been holding steady. It's gone up to 282, but I'm still looking better every week, although that is not a flattering shirt. So I don't know what the name for these are, but I like doing these too for core and my obliques. And serratus, this is I guess you call them golf swings if you want. But these are a good one. Again, I start light. Again, with my pecs, I never just jump into something really heavy. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. So, but I try and work my core each and every workout for the most part. But this workout, I remember we went in, we stretched, we did core, we did core, we did calves, more stretching, and then we did some cardio. Again, my cardio, I always vary it as well. Your body is very, very amazing. You know, it can switch and adapt to so many things, and also how it holds on to fat. So I like to constantly shock and surprise my body so it never really knows what it has coming to it. So these are good. I think I do them in the 20 rep range. A lot of my core exercises I do in the higher rep range. Again, that was something I learned from Shane Sweat. And here, same thing, going a little heavier. And this is another great core exercise. So if you guys, I know for a lot of you, core is boring. A lot of people neglect it, but don't. You want to have a strong core, especially if you're still powerlifting too, because the stronger your core, the better your bench, squat, and deadlift are going to be. A lot of people don't know that. You don't want any weaknesses in the chain, any weaknesses in the armor. And also for me too, having a hernia, I want to keep my core as strong as I can as well. So again, I do a bunch of sets of these, but I just wanted to show you guys this exercise. It's a good one. And it's a different variation, you know, kind of, I don't like to use the word fun. I've always, you know, when I'm on the wagon, I've always loved going to the gym, but you want to kind of keep things interesting, keep it fun a bit. And when you do the same exercise, week in, week out, exercises in the same routine, your body adapts so quickly. Now, if you're a beginner and you're just learning how to do these exercises, of course, you want to take your time and get used to doing them properly, and you have a learning curve ahead of you, right? I remember when my partner started lifting with me, she had quite the learning curve ahead of her. She would get frustrated with the exercises. But now, often her form's better than mine in a lot of exercises now, so very proud of her. So, again, too, I think the core is just, you know, when you do resistance training, one of the great things about it, too, is you're more resistant to just day-to-day injuries, right? If you have untrained muscles, that's when they get opened up for tears and things happening. And I also think for having a strong core, it's good. It makes you more resistant to injuries. But I'm working up the weights here, and I want you guys watch to the end because I tell a really insane story about meeting a very famous celebrity in the lifting fitness industry and how much of an asshole he was. But again, most of the people I met were all amazing, and I have lots of stories to come. Posted a video a few weeks ago about when I met Rich Piana. That was a really good experience. And okay, so here now we're going to the assault bike. I think I'm doing, again, it's kind of boring to watch for you guys, but I'm doing rounds all out. I don't know if I do 3 or 5 minute rounds. You try doing that, and then rest for a little bit and go back and do it again. When you do this, your body's like, I have no idea what's going on, so it has to react. So I'm going all out. That assault bike, you know, there's a lot of different people we'll talk about when they have to get in shape. They use the assault bike, a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of pro boxers. It is something, man. You do that. Sometimes I'll do it high intensity. But here I am again, doing another round all out. Sometimes I'll do low intensity too. The other day, my partner, she's really starting to rock on the stepper. So she did the stepper for, it was 22 or 23 minutes, I forget. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and match that minute for minute. And I did it low intensity on the assault bike, but it was still a great workout. The main problem is your ass and your legs go numb. I found that to be the biggest challenge. So I kind of, what am I doing here? Because this is an all out. The other set was all out. Maybe it was an all out, medium, and then slow. But that bike, I tell you, for a guy who hates cardio, I've gotten pretty emotionally attached to that bike. But no, don't neglect your cardio, guys. Don't neglect your cardio. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking off into space there. So probably after this too, it's probably snowing out. I get home, walk the dog, and then walk myself. Most times. If you have never tried the assault bike before, try it. And let me know what you think. Comment below. And again, shout out to everyone who subscribes, likes. I know that's annoying. I hate when I go to a YouTube channel in the first 5 minutes smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. And we're so desensitized to that now with YouTube. But for a little channel, it's important. So I appreciate everyone who makes that little effort for me. Really appreciate it. Come on, you old fat bastard. What am I doing here? I'm looking at the camera. But I will always throw in different cardio all the time. But that assault bike, man, I'm telling you, it's something else. It's almost like, you know, an 800 meter run. It's not really a sprint, and it's not really a long distance. So your body gets kind of confused. It's like, what is this here? It's not a long distance thing. It's not a sprint thing.
Out walking my motherfucking dog. So that was a different workout for you guys. That was, I actually did calves too. I was kind of supersetting my core exercises with standing calf raises. Really getting that long stretch too, because, you know, at our age, when you're doing a lot of cardio, moving a lot, you get plantar fasciitis, so I do a lot of stretching. The town sleeps and I'm grinding. Remember, folks, these will be the same people down the road that go, how did you do it, man? Look at that. Now I'm going out on my walk. Still before the sun comes up. I've been up, been to the gym, walked my dog. Now I'm going for my walk. Tremendously healing, guys. Tremendously healing. You'll see a theme in a lot of my videos. Avoid stress, avoid drama, avoid draining people, avoid disorder, mental and physical healing and health. Friends, Brian here, and I have a lot I got to cover today in this video. I have a busy day ahead. If you guys have ever seen the documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster by Chris Bell about the Bell brothers, and it's about steroids and enhancement, it's a fantastic documentary. If you have been living under a rock and haven't seen it, I encourage you to do so. There's a scene in that movie or documentary with Greg Valentino. Now, whatever people think of Greg Valentino, yes, he's silly, synthol, all that other crap. But he says a very powerful statement in that video. He says, when you idolize someone, when you look up to them, and then you meet them and it's such a disappointment. You know, the guy you see in public going like this, under the table, he's going like this. And there is some truth to that. And I'm going to tell you my story, but we tend to put a lot of stock in celebrities, right? Like movie stars, TV stars. Most of us live very average, miserable lives, and we kind of live vicariously through these people somehow. It's kind of like, I have nothing against pro sports, but sometimes, you go to a bar and you see a guy in his 30s or 40s with a big gut, like I still have, but it ain't big like it was. And they're wearing their favorite player's jersey. It's almost like they're living vicariously through those people because they're not happy in their own life. Now, again, don't take that the wrong way. When I got back into lifting, I hadn't worked out since 2000. I hadn't touched a weight in my 30s. In my early 40s, I got back into working out. I was all natural at the time. 2014, I went to my first big event. It was the Toronto Pro Super Show just to check it out. I was really getting back into working out. Saw all this stuff on YouTube, and I was buying magazines at that time. So I'm at this event, and at the time, I don't want to use the word idolized, but I was aware of who everyone was, and there was someone who I really liked and inspired me. I'm not going to mention his name, but I will tell you that he is a multi-Mr. Olympia winner, okay? And in his videos, he's always promoting, it's all about the fans, how great he is to his fans, and he's this and that and this and that. So I've met a lot of people, and, I'm going to do a video soon about meeting Seth Feroci. I met him a few years back. I did an interview with him for an old YouTube channel of mine. I'm actually going to include the footage of the interview. And he was a super cool guy. He was amazing. There was a lot of amazing people. I used to be a very naive, dumb person when it came to people. And I really, over my 40s, my bullshit meter and really learning how to assess people very quickly went from super dumb to super sharp. The FBI should almost hire me to interrogate people now. I can read people and size them up really quickly. But anyway, at that time, one of the people that I really looked up to who inspired me was a multi-Mr. Olympia winner. I'm not going to, because it was a very bad experience, I'm not going to tell you who he was, what his name was. I met different people. I was meeting different celebrities, getting my picture taken with them. It was really cool. My first taste of happened. I won't mention what booth it was at, but there was a guy there. He was super jacked. He was either a pro. No, he must have been a pro or a top amateur. And he was being nice with everyone, big smiles, getting his picture taken with everybody. And he was super nice to me. And about 10 minutes later, in the lobby of the hotel, which was right beside the convention center, I bumped into him. And I said, "Hey, man, how are you?" And he just kind of gave me a dirty look and went in the elevator. I said, "Oh, that's weird. 10 minutes ago, he was super nice." So yes, for a lot of people, it is their job. It was a 3-day event. As the weekend progressed, I had a room right beside the convention center. So you pretty much walk through the lobby and you walk into the convention center. Meeting a lot of people, great experiences. I'm going to have videos and all that to come. But this one person, I wanted to meet him. And I remember saying, and I got to give my ex-wife credit. At the time, she came down with me. I told her, I said, "No, this is great. I'm loving my weekend, but I just need to meet so-and-so." And she said, "I don't know, man. I don't have a good feeling about meeting him. I think he's going to be a real prick." And I said, No, you don't understand. And his YouTube videos, it's all about his fans, and he loves his fans. And he would be at his booth with a lineup of people spending hundreds of dollars buying his supplements. And he had a big smile on his face with everyone, right? I thought, I'll try and catch him at a better time. He's really busy. And on day 3, I caught him walking through the lobby of the hotel. I looked around. He was by himself. He didn't seem to be in a rush. And I went up to him and I said, "Mr. So-and-so, I'm really sorry to bother you. Could I just have a super fast picture with you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm really busy. I have places to go. I got stuff I got to do today." And I said, I'll just be a second and I'll get out of your way. And so he reluctantly took a picture with me, put my arm around him, took a picture. And as soon as the picture was done, he just pushed me away like that and turned around. I think he was talking to Steve Weinberger, the top IFBB judge or whatever. Again, my ex-wife, to her credit, she just looked at him. She said, "Man, you're a fucking asshole." He didn't say anything. And I'm standing there I didn't know what to do. I'm like, man, I was polite. I was nice. If you ever go to these events and you see how a lot of people treat the celebrities, getting right in their face and taking pictures. But, one of the problems in life I've also learned too is when you are nice, people will look at that sometimes as weakness. So I got mad in that moment. I'm thinking, man, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm ready to throw down. I will fucking heel hook you and destroy your knees, or I will fucking choke you out in front of all these people. The ride home, the 4-hour drive home, I was crushed. I couldn't believe what had happened. I kept going over my head. What did I do wrong? I was nice. I was polite. I literally only took 5-10 seconds of his time. And he was such a jerk. And, you know, for a few days, it really bothered me. And then I started getting on with my life, of course. And fast forward to the 2018 Arnold Classic, which I went to. By this time, I was a minor sponsored athlete. I was, if I may say, not that size matters with fighting. All you fighters and MMA fighters out there, you know that. I know that. But I was pretty jacked. Okay, I was doing bent over rows with 500 pounds.
Up. Yeah.
Reps on the deadlift with 675. There was a moment where we had a quiet moment where I walked by him and I looked at him with the worst look. I just looked at him like shaking my head, and he's kind of looking at me. I said, "You're a fucking goof." He's just kind of looking at me like, "What the fuck is this fucking huge guy? What's his problem? You know, is he going to fucking kill me? What's going on?" Anyway, after that, it really, you know, that saying by Greg Valentino, it's really true. I'm happy for anyone who succeeds in life. Life's tough. YouTube's tough. Getting followers on Instagram's tough. But, you know, we put all this stock into people and we don't even really know them. They could be the biggest pieces of shit in the world. And then when you have a chance to meet them, man, you know, for what happened that day, there was no excuse whether he's having a bad day or whatever. To me, I took it like, well, I wasn't at his booth buying $300 or $400 worth of supplements. So he's like, "You're just a piece of shit." But going back, I would have loved to choke his ass out in front of everybody. At the Arnold Classic, I let him know what I thought of him. Me? What I am is what you see is what you get. But if you ever do happen to see me in the future, possibly at an event like the Arnold Classic, Toronto Pro Super Show, if I happen to be traveling and you see me in your gym, I want you to feel free to come up and talk to me. All right? And if I'm an asshole, I will buy you lunch and apologize publicly on YouTube. If you ever meet me, please feel free to come up and say hi. If I'm in the middle of a set, let me finish my set first before coming up and talking to me. Or if I have my headphones in, just give me a second to take my headphones out. But I do really appreciate all of you guys, you know, whether I connect with 1,000 people, 10,000 people, or 7 people. If my life, this is my legacy. I'm leaving my legacy of my life on YouTube. If I die tomorrow, if I die in a month, if I die in a year, but if somehow some things I'm saying helps a few people, then my job is done. But remember, guys, when you put so much stock into celebrities, do you really know the person? And when you do have a chance to meet that person, be prepared, because there is a chance it might not go well. And if you build them up in your head to this, but they're actually this, man, is it a disappointment. Greg Valentino was onto something. All right, guys, all the best. Have a great weekend. This is my therapy.